Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about Conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting and intriguing. And tonight we are talking about the relationship blueprint, which is the title of my guest's newest book. Dr. April Givens, who is based in Dallas, who I met on IG, who was on, I think, back in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. But back then she was talking about nutrition and mental health, but now we are shifting to relationships, the blueprint. She says she's got the blueprint for us. So we are pre-Valentine's Day, but we're going to get you right before Love Day comes. So before I bring her on, I need to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. And your comments and questions are very much so welcome. So please let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments. Put your city and state so we can give you a shout out. I see Miss Brittany, who is here in Tallahassee, on with us. Thank you for joining us. Brother Quasi in Atlanta, thank you for joining us. And Miss Sophia, who is also in Georgia, I believe. Thank you for joining us. So, y'all, today was a great day for me. Let me just say I went to Florida Small Business Day at the Capitol, which they host annually. Last year I participated, and this year was a joy. I met a lot of small business owners and folks that are state workers that help facilitate small business through loans and grants and things of that nature. So super excited about some future collaborations that may take place. So, all right. So I am going to go ahead and share Dr. April's bio. So Dr. April Givens is a powerhouse of purpose and poise, heart-led entrepreneur blending science and soul as a psychotherapist, a psychobiologist, empowerment and relationship coach. She's the founder of Urban Counseling Click. She helps others heal while expanding her own reach from speaking on stages, books, business consulting, and relationship coaching. And she moves with intention from plant based living, exercising, and affirmation. And she aligns her life with love and clarity. Her journey is deep, facing grief, fostering growth, and choosing peace over past pain. And we all need to do that. Whether it's creating tools for therapists, speaking her truth in love, or styling the perfect look for a foundation dinner, she embodies elegance with edge. She is walking proof that healing and high impact can coexist. Y'all help me welcome Dr. April Givens.
Hey. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. So please tell the people, who is Dr. April Givens? Not what you do, but who are you in your own words?
Hey, I am a mother and I am a lover of life and a lover of people, so that's me in a nutshell.
Okay.
I'm your empowerment coach. I want to motivate you to be great and to be your best self.
Yes, love it. A woman after my own heart. I love to do that for people as well. So tell the folks just a little bit about kind of how you got started on your psychotherapist journey. Like, what kind of motivated you to work in this space?
Well, I always loved talking to people.
Mhm.
So early on, my track was biology pre-med. So my bachelor's of science degree is in biology. So
Mhm.
later on, I decided to not go there and decided to work in corporate a little bit after I finished with that. So it was a histology class. And I talk about this a lot in a lot of interviews that I've done that kind of made my decision turn from medical school to doing something different because we were working on a rat in class and we had to dissect it. So we had to give it anesthesia and all these things. And my group was just like the last group to cut it open. The professor had to come over and cut ours open. And at that point, it was like, ooh, do I really want to do this? Because I know going to medical school, you got to work on cadavers and you
Mhm.
have to be able to cut them open and do all this stuff. I can watch it all day. And I've worked in clinics and hospitals and surgery centers and all these things. I can watch it, I can assist doing it. But for me to have to actually do it myself, that was just a turning point. So just decided that that wasn't for me.
Mm.
Finished my degree, went on and worked in different spaces in corporate America, and then decided to go back to school to work
Okay.
on my master's. So I got my master's in clinical mental health counseling and then
Mhm.
started working in different places as I obtained licensure. Then later on, decided to go back to school and get my PhD, but started my private practice, after I became licensed and started the group practice and a nonprofit, which is Urban Counseling Click. And so here I am today, still doing what I love, working for myself. I have a team of clinicians that work with me as well. And, I'm just loving what I do.
Love it, y'all, and she is killing it on IG. She has, different tips that she gives out on a regular basis and is now talking to us a little more on IG. So love to hear the things that you have to share. So just super proud of you, girl. You're doing your thing and we need more of, what you are offering to the world. So thank you for that. Now I gotta mention this book, right? Because again, it's been like 3 years since we actually engaged with one another, but I saw you talking about the book on IG and I was like, I gotta have you on to talk about this. So tell us
Yeah.
about the relationship blueprint.
So the relationship blueprint, the title of it is the relationship blueprint, choosing the right one, finding love that lasts. So it's a step-by-step guide to finding love that lasts. Basically, it's a book for if you are dating, if you're newly dating and you're still trying to find that one, or better yet, that one find you. That is a book that helps with that, but it also helps with people who are currently in a relationship so you can get back in alignment with the person that you're with. But the first chapter talks about building the foundation. The
Mm,
foundation is you learning to love yourself first and what your values are and what do you need to become in order to attract the person that is for you, the right one. There's no such thing as a perfect partner, but there is a such thing as a perfect partner for you.
Okay, so I know I have some folks that are ready to get into it, but before we do, because I have a licensed clinician on, I need to read my disclaimer, and that is that all topics past, present, and future on Conversations with Nicole are for informational purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or an answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program. All right, so let's get into it. The relationship blueprint. I think when you and I talked, one of the things that stood out to me was love versus love that is aligned, right?
Yes.
And that's probably not the best place to start. Probably the best place to start would be ourselves. So, talk a little bit about the importance of us being healed or being whole before moving into a relationship.
Ooh, that's a strong one because we all have triggers, right? And so
Mm,
when you are initially, everybody's probably at some point in life, if you haven't, keep living, went through heartbreak. So at that point, you have those things that you need to heal from.
mhm,
And that's where a lot of times that is the catalyst for your healing journey. I always feel like relationships especially romantic relationships, mirror us. So
Mm,
it teaches you basically what it is that you need to work on within yourself.
mm-hmm.
So
No,
every
that's
relationship that you've been in with someone is a mirror for you. So they're shining back on you some things that are not healed, some insecurities, all of these things. So you take those lessons and you integrate those to become your best version of yourself.
okay.
And you learn what it is that you don't want from those past relationships so you can strive toward getting what it is that you do want. So it helps you gain clarity and become more clear
Mm.
about who you are and what it is that you want and how to attract that in a partner.
That's good. That's good. Is that resonating with anybody out there? Let me know in the chat. If it does resonate with you, give us a thumbs up or a church finger or something to let us know. All right. I see we do have some more folks that have joined us. Sambaza, who is my podcast cousin, who is in Forney, Texas, who I met this weekend at the Pod Fest in Orlando. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Sophia, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Thank you. My sister Shayla down in Miami. Thank you for joining us. Also, Brother Warren Cave here in Tallahassee, Janita in Midway, and Ozzy Daniel in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Thank you for being here, Ozzy. All right, so I'm not seeing anybody that is resonating with these words, but no judgment, no shame as it relates to it. Listen, I'm gonna put my finger up because I can resonate with those things that you said resonated with me. And so once I guess we kind of come to ourselves and are dealing and healing from those past experiences or triggers or what have you, what would you say would be kind of our next steps?
So our next steps will be identifying what it is that you want. I
Mm,
always say writing. And this in my book kind of talks about that and it gives you, step-by-step tools on to do just that. Identifying what your values are,
mhm,
identifying what your deal breakers are, identifying what it is that you truly want. A lot of people don't know what it is that they want. So
mm,
how are you expected to attract someone that's aligned with you, that's the right one for you, if you don't really know what you want. So
mm,
sitting down and taking a pen and paper, not on your phone, not dictating it, but writing it down and really outlining what it is that you want in a partner
mm,
and be very, very, very specific. That's important. If you want someone to love you a certain way, if you want them to be trustworthy, if you want them to be monogamous,
mm,
only you, they only have eyes for you. What is it that you want? These things are important. They need to be stable. They need to be emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent, all of
mm,
these things, emotionally available. That's very important. So
mm.
a lot of times when you're creating these lists and you're writing these things down, you are not being specific. You're outlining the looks, which is surface level. But
Right.
you want to outline the depth. What is it inside this person's character that attracts you to that person? That's the difference between love and aligned love. You can
Mm,
be attracted to anyone if they look good on the outside, if
right.
the surface and the aesthetic is okay. But
Mm,
what about once you get past that and you try to have conversations with the person or do things with them and you realize that, I don't like their conversation or whatever the case may be. So you want to outline these things because these are most important. Once you get past the looks, then what? What's there?
right. No, that that is so good. So I want to pull the viewers in. Have any of you tried that? Have any of you written down what you're looking for in a mate in detail, not just surface level, but what it is that you're looking for? What values do you want your mate to have? And um if not, are you willing to maybe do that? Write it down. Write down those things that you wish you want your ideal mate to have. I see a few more folks that have joined us. So I want to give Marcus a shout out down in Tampa, Tracy Golay, who I think is here in Tallahassee, and Lisa. Thank you for being here, Lisa, who's also here in Tally. So let's see. Sonya B is here in Tallahassee. Thank you. She's my Cocktails and Conversations co-host. She said good evening. And yes, have definitely written down. Wonderful. Love to hear that, Sonya. So I think maybe some of us may feel a little some kind of way about maybe writing it down because maybe that seems a little silly. Maybe that seems a little um I don't know, ambitious of us, far reaching. I don't know. I don't know. Have you gotten any, I guess, pushback maybe from any of your clients about writing down what they wanted to make?
No, I think when they actually do the exercise, they see it's quite therapeutic, but
Okay.
it gives you clarity. When you
Hmm.
write things down, it gives you clarity of exactly it is what it is that you want. So you want to be able, the first step is to write that down, but also feel it. Writing things down is a manifestation process. So
Mm.
what that does is it helps you manifest things into your life when you write them down. And not only relationships, but careers and anything else that you desire to have in life. Write those things down, put pen to paper. So
Yeah.
therefore, you're creating a clear blueprint of what it is that you want moving forward. So then you start to attract those things to
Hmm.
you. So that's
Hence,
what writing does.
hence the name Relationship Blueprint. I see where you're
Yes.
going with this. I see where you're going. All right. Love it. Okay, my mom just joined us. Thank you for being here, Mom. And Samboza got his thumb up, so I think he's done some of this. Now he's married, but he may have done this before he got married. So he says something about writing it down has more impact.
It does. Writing is a subjective, subconscious process.
Mm,
So you are manifesting it as you write it because you're believing it and you're telling God that, hey, I'm calling this in. This is what I want.
you heard that? A subjective, subconscious process. All right. I love that. And I'm writing it down as we talk about it. Okay, Miss Jeanette is with us from Miami Gardens. She said, very important topic this evening. My tidbit to the children when I was teaching elementary and girls would get attracted to boys, I would tell, make sure they can read them. Okay, thank you, Miss Jeanette. Janita said, I was single for so long, so I did a lot of writing. My husband actually came with qualities that I didn't know I needed in my blueprint. Nice.
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm. So, do you in the book give any pointers about maybe because maybe there are some folks that are like Janita who don't know what they need in their blueprint, but some things that folks can kind of think about when they are putting this list together?
Yes, absolutely. So I break all that down. I think that's like in chapter 3, where I talk about, defining your blueprint. So we go through everything, asking questions. So this book is kind of like you would walk through a session with me as if
Okay.
you were, in a counseling session. And so we would create it as we go through the chapters. I'm
Mm,
asking you questions. You are answering these questions in this guide. But then when you get to the end, you have your blueprint created. And so now you can put it into action because
got
you know who you are, you know
it.
what it is that you want, what you desire, but it also helps you be able to create the boundaries. You
Mm,
can't be in a relationship without having boundaries. So
mm,
many people don't have boundaries, and
mm,
that's why a lot of the relationships fail. So you have to be able to create the boundary and enforce your boundaries.
mm,
But there's also a level of compromise that needs to take place in a relationship too, but
mm.
that's where effective communication comes in. So we also talk about that in the book, being able to communicate your needs and seeing if that other person is capable of meeting you there. That's
Listen,
important.
Dr. April, you are like dropping these gems, okay? And I don't know if y'all are picking them up as fast as she is dropping them down, but I'm gonna try to roll us back just a little bit,
Okay.
okay? So she mentioned boundaries, she mentioned uh kind of a give and take or compromise that has to take place as well as communication. So like all three of those are really, really important.
Very.
So let's talk a little bit about boundaries. And what I'd love for you to address is how, when we get in relationship, sometimes we can be so, infatuated and, in tune to our new mate that um we kind of forget about the things that we have going on, right?
Right,
And so we kind of just drop those things by the wayside because we are just, we're feeling all of the emotions, all of the mental stimulation with being in the presence of this person, right?
right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So I cover that too, the red flags and the green flags in a relationship. So that's one of the red flags. You definitely don't want to abandon yourself in love.
Mm,
That's important because guess what you really don't understand is that's what attracted that person to you in the first place was
mhm,
the fact that you had things going on. You
mhm,
were in tune with yourself and your life. You ever notice how when you get busy working on you and doing things that are important to you, sometimes that person just comes in when you least expect it. You wasn't really looking for the relationship. You mapped out your blueprint. You said that this is what it is that you want in a partner, but then you put it to the side and you just allow it to happen whenever it's supposed to happen, and you get busy living life. You get busy doing all the things that are fun for you, hanging out with your friends, going to events, doing things with your career or whatever that's important to you. You still want to do that when that person comes in. You don't want to abandon yourself because that's what pulled them in. The fact that you were focusing on you. It's something about you being in tune with who you are attracts them. It brings it's that light that you carry, that glow that you are, you're unbothered, so to speak. So
mhm.
that's what brings them in. You don't want to lose that. So continue to enjoy life, plan things around the relationship, still have the time with your partner, but
Mhm.
also still make time for your friends, your family, other activities that you're involved in. Continue to be you.
Yes, very good advice. Very, very good comments. I'm not going to say advice, but very good recommendations. I think that again, we do get caught up in the infatuation of it all, in the newness of it all, and I guess that dopamine is kicking in, right? Yes.
Yes, it does. It kicks in really hard too sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, ooh, you gotta really back in to make sure you're okay. So that's where you're staying grounded in
Mm-hmm.
it. And in that moment, when all these things start to take place, that's when communication is key. You
Mm.
want to talk. A lot of times people waste so much time, months in relationships because they're talking about everything that doesn't matter
Yes.
instead of talking about the things that do. So when
Mm-hmm.
you first meet someone, spend that first month, 2, 3 months really asking the right questions,
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
finding out as much as you can about that person and them you.
Yes. Very good. All right. Yes, wonderful. Elise Leasable. I think I'm not quite sure, but said continue to be you. Absolutely. Sharice joined us out of Atlanta, and Keisha is here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here. She said, how many of y'all men like those edges? I'm not copying and pasting any on my face. Too much. She being funny. This is my show comedian right here. Yes, Miss Keisha. Too much. We're not talking about physical, okay? I mean, you can list that. He might list that, but we know that's not you. All right, Ozzy, can two walk together unless they agree? Such is life by knowing thyself. And in doing so, settling for any mediocrity based on societal standards will not stand starting from a wholeness standpoint.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Ozzy is a clinician in Virginia
Mhm.
Beach.
I
So
remember Ozzy from the last time I was here.
okay, nice, nice, nice. All right. Yes. So wonderful said, ask the right questions. Yes, please ask the right questions and ask lots of questions. And I think not in an incriminating type of way, but just, lean in, be curious because you're talking about spending time, spending your energy with this person. right?
Right. And potentially spending the rest of your life with
And
this person.
potentially spending the rest of your life. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's okay to take it slow.
Yes, it's okay to take it slow and ask the important questions. You
Mm.
know, you want to know how they react in different situations. I always say date someone 4 seasons
Mm,
because then, the representative is gone by the fourth season. So
mm.
you can see how people react and respond to everything that life throws at you, at them, how they show up, how they communicate, how they manage their emotions, can they regulate their emotions? All of these things are important.
Nice. I love that. Okay, Marcus Boston, thank you for my super chat donation. He said, "How do you know when you're over your ex and ready for the next?" Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, well, that's something that you have to decide
Mm,
because a lot of times people jump into one relationship right after the other, and you're trying to get over that other person that you still have those lingering feelings for. So
mhm,
then you go on to the next, and then you're triggered because
mm,
what typically happens in that situation is you're dating the same person with just a different face. You ever
mm.
notice how you recycle relationships? It's
Ooh,
like it can be a totally different person, but same scenario. You're the common denominator in
mm,
that scenario because you haven't healed and you're taking that energetic blueprint from that past relationship and bringing it into this current relationship. And sometimes, granted, you're not going to be completely healed when you start a new relationship, but that new relationship will trigger you to heal, and a lot of times you can heal together if they're the right person for you.
mhm.
So that's the key, if they're the right person. Now, if you want to just keep going through a cycle of repeat, rinse, and repeat, and just talking to different people, and there's no depth there, you can continue to do that. People do that all the time, have one night stands, talk to whoever if that's what you want. But I'm talking about people who want a lasting depth filled love relationship that's going to lead to marriage. That's what this blueprint is helping you get to.
Come on now. I love it. All right. Kesey just joined us. Thank you for being here. Keisha asks, "Is there such a thing as wanting different in different seasons, not whether you just want something different?"
Yeah, like I just said, if you want to be that person to continue to date and you're not ready, that's okay.
Mhm.
But you have to let the person, whoever you're communicating with and dating, know that. So
Yeah.
that way they can make a decision if that's something they want to continue to be with. Now, you're not aligned if that person wants something deep that could lead to marriage and you're just there for a good time. That's not
Mhm.
alignment. So you
Mm.
have to decide what it is that you want, number one.
Yes, absolutely. Great point. All right, a few more folks have joined us. Brother Kufu, who is here in Tallahassee, thank you for being here. And Miss Stacy, she said, "Hey, I'm here for the signature glasses." Thank you, Stacy. Said, "Help us, Dr. April. Help us." Yes. Indeed. All right. So we talked boundaries, we talked communication a little bit, but let's dabble a little bit into this compromise piece. So, what would you say as it relates to compromise? Because, it is a little give and take. It can't all be your way, right?
Yeah,
And it can't be all their way, right?
that's true. So
Hmm.
it's a matter of having a conversation to decide what works for both of you in a relationship, not based off of your parents' relationship or a friendship that you know their relationship. You are in that relationship with that person. So you create your own standards of what works for you, not based off of society expectations or whatever. It's what works for you. So that's a matter of you and that person coming together and talking about what you are willing to do and what you're capable of doing. Some people are wanting things in the relationship and know the other person is just not capable of doing that. So
Mm,
it's a matter of, I want this, but is that person willing and capable of? Because some people can't. And you try to pretend, you put up this facade for the first 2 or 3 months and you do all these things. And
mhm.
then afterwards, they go away because that's not who that person was. They was doing it to impress you.
The
So it's
representative.
important, right? The representative. So it's important to start off where you're being honest, you're being truthful, and you're communicating your desire and seeing if that person can meet you there.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we are at about halfway through our conversation. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking to Dr. April Givens, who is a clinician based in Dallas, Texas. And we are talking the relationship blueprint. She has written a book. Dr. April, if you don't mind holding the book up for them so they can
Yes, this is the
catch
book.
a glimpse of it. Yes. And we'll tell you how you can get a copy of it at the end of the broadcast. But the relationship blueprint, what's the subtitle for it, Dr. April?
It is choosing the right one, a step-by-step guide to finding love that lasts.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. And so your comments, your questions are very much so welcome. So we are having an engaging conversation tonight. Let's see. Janita said, yes, what works for your relationship? Emphasis on the your.
Right.
Um, Lisa, collecting data is very important. Amen, amen, amen. Keisha, yeah, we too old for the church people to push us together, my Lord. Listen, no, man, we're not doing that. And Stacy, she said, can a relationship blueprint work for online dating situations?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's just a matter of communicating.
Yeah.
It's talking to each other. You'll
Mhm.
be surprised how many people are scared to talk to each other. They're scared to communicate. They'll come to therapy and tell me everything. And I'm like, have you talked to that person and told them that? No. Why?
So,
That's the person you're in a relationship with. Talk to them.
please enlighten me. Why are people scared to talk?
It's, I don't know. It's the pressure of being seen is what I say. Some people don't want to be seen. You're the vulnerability. I think that's what it
I
is,
mean,
more or
is it
less.
fear of judgment or?
It could be fear of judgment, but a lot of people are fearful of being vulnerable.
Mm,
That's a real fear. They
okay.
don't want you to see them at their core, just
Mhm,
raw. And so someone that's right for you is going to bring that out of you.
mm,
You're going to see them at their core and they're going to see you at yours. And it's
mm,
okay. You are emotionally exposed, but you're okay with being exposed. If
mhm.
you want the right one, you are.
Right, if that's truly what you want, right?
Right. If that's truly what you want, the people that are still afraid to be emotionally exposed are not really ready for a deep committed relationship. That
Mm,
means they still have things to work on.
yeah. Oh, that's good. All right, Marcus, I love authors and writers. Thank you, Marcus. Marcus is a author and a writer. I think he's written like 17 books, so he
Go
loves.
ahead, Marcus.
Right, right, right. All right. Ozzy, he said, I believe an adequate amount of time must be spent alone for a season to come in touch with oneself. Time
Mhm.
and experiences will align, and then the right person will naturally align based on mindset.
Yes.
Personality and character should always be the first goal after learning about yourself. A book may be nice. Send me a link to order. Okay.
Too
That will
much,
be
but
my
okay.
March book. Okay, wonderful. We will make sure you get that link, Ozzy. Yes. So personality and character, agree. I think that, like you said, he said time alone.
All
Um,
of that, absolutely. Yeah, that's important too, very much. That's a great point because time alone is what going to strengthen, your season of getting ready for that one.
mhm.
So learning you, that's you.
Yeah.
Sitting there, spending time with yourself, self-reflecting, going out, doing things, have your era of you're just hanging with your boys, or you're just hanging with your girls, or you're taking your trips and you're traveling and you're participating in different activities, just functions and stuff. And
Right.
all of that will help you strengthen your character. So then you're ready for a relationship when it comes along.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So we talk boundaries, we talk compromise, we talk communication, and still, I feel like there's still more we need to flush out about that because people being scared to talk to the person. That's,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think of course, there may be some um hard, difficult, um challenging conversations to maybe have, but if you don't have them on the front end, then something's bound to happen
Yeah, and
eventually.
it does. It
Mhm.
typically does, or the relationship fizzles out. And
Mhm.
then you never know what could have been because you didn't have the conversations. And a
Yeah.
lot of times it could be, misinterpretation too. So that's why it's important to go through scenarios
Mhm.
also in your relationships. Give that person a scenario. Ask them how would they react if X, Y, and Z happened.
Right.
Whether you're a man or whether you're a female, if this situation happened, how would you react to it? What are
Yeah.
something what do you have friends that have gone through certain things? Talk
Mhm.
about that stuff and see how they respond and react to that. A lot of times that tell you a lot about the person too. That's data. You file that away for future references.
That is data for sure. All right. Ozzy said, "Yep, get out the surface level. I think maybe out of the surface level and go in for the deep and not on the skin level. The heart speaks." He
Yeah,
said, "Listening and listening 101."
that's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So we've talked love versus aligned love, not perfect, but perfect for you or right for you,
Mhm.
right? One of the other things that you and I also talked about was like a relationship mission statement. So
Yes.
talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So crafting your relationship mission statement, that helps you decide what it is that you really want and it helps you get clear. So it can be my relationship mission statement would be to find aligned, compatible love with a honest, trustworthy person that wants to be in a monogamous relationship with me. That's an example of a relationship mission statement. You're clear on what it is that you're looking for, what type of person that you want. And so that's the start of your blueprint, that mission statement. And so
Okay.
everything else comes after that. What do you need to be, or what do you need to do within yourself to be able to attract that aligned love? And
Mhm,
also being able to recognize the red flags. So when someone comes into the picture, because you're going to get a lot of tests before the real one comes. So when
mhm,
someone comes into the picture who doesn't meet the criteria of that mission statement that you have crafted, you know how to set that boundary and dismiss that because that's not what it is that you said you wanted. A lot of times it wobbles when you're lonely, because
mm,
if you're lonely, something's going to come in and it may have some of the stuff, but
right.
it's not exactly what it is that you stated that you wanted, and you settle. So a
Mm,
part of the relationship blueprint is me telling you that you don't ever have to settle. You
mm.
can have exactly what it is that you want. You really can. It's out there.
You're gonna have to say that again. Y'all listen real good, y'all. Say it again, Dr.
You
April.
don't ever have to settle. You can have exactly what it is that you want. It's out there.
Booyah. Y'all heard it right here. Dr. April said it. All right. Okay, so Janita said, I asked my husband in the beginning his feelings about moving parents in if that time should come. Woo, that was a big conversation. I'm sure it was. But those are the types of conversations that we need to be
All
having.
of that scenarios you need to know. You need to know if someone loses their job and you're the only one, male or female, that's the breadwinner in
Yeah.
the household. How does that look?
Mm,
Because a lot of times women get resentful of men who are not working,
mhm,
and vice versa. Some men, they don't voice it, a lot of times, but some men are resentful of women that
mhm,
are at the house and not working, especially if she's at the house and he's working every day and he's coming home and she's not cooking, she's not cleaning, none of those things, and she's at the house all day. You have
mhm.
men who have issues with that. So all of these scenarios are very important to talk about early on.
Very, very important. All right. Ozzy said that is a significant point right there, Doc. Marcus, I heard that, but meeting her is the hard part.
It's not
Listen,
hard, Marcus.
tell him, Dr. April, tell him.
It's not hard. You have to put yourself out there. That's it. But you have to be okay first within yourself. If you really want her, you can't have the mindset of I still want whoever comes along, or I'm not serious about it. If you truly want love to meet someone that will potentially be your wife, she's out there. But you have to get you together first in order to attract her. And
Mm,
you can meet her at the grocery store, you can meet her at church, you can meet her in passing, at somewhere at a friend's event, anything. You don't necessarily have to go on a dating site or anything like that to meet the person for you.
mhm. Yeah. No, that's good. So, and get the relationship blueprint that'll help you map it out, right?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Keisha said, I have also heard get to know them in all seasons when they're angry, happy, sad, relaxed, joyful, undecided, but also those hard conversations, politics. Do you hate others? Are you jealous? Stepchildren.
Yes.
So again, all of those again, kind of tough, difficult, challenging, maybe kind of confrontational. And it doesn't have to be. I mean, it's all in the way that you approach it, right? So again, maybe use it as a hypothetical, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. But the more and more you talk to each other, that's why it's important to talk about things that matter. The more
Right.
and more you talk to each other, you understand what that person value, what
Mm-hmm.
their values are, and if their values align with yours.
Mm-hmm. And wouldn't you much rather like find out earlier on that you're not a good match, then
Right.
you move further along, get more intertwined and entangled, if you will, and wind up getting married and then are like miserable.
That's it. But this is the thing, though, Nicole, and I truly believe that people know at year 1 and 2 if someone's not right for them. They
Mm,
just wait to get to year 5, then they break up. But you already knew year 1 and 2. You saw all the red flags.
mm.
You saw everything. You had some of the conversations and they didn't go the way that you wanted them to go, but for whatever reason, you decided to stay in it. That happens more often than not
It does. Why you think people stick and stay?
because they're comfortable.
And I'm sure
They're comfortable.
the time that they've invested, right?
Yeah, the time that they're invested in, they're comfortable. And some people feel like, oh, well, I don't want to waste my time. But if you're ending at year 5 or year 10 after being together for so long, you've already, been there. So I never say waste of time because it's never a waste of time. It's
Right.
always a learning cycle for you,
Mm-hmm.
because that just means that you haven't learned the lesson. So
Yeah.
you were learning so much throughout that time. So it served its purpose. So
Mm,
now what do you do with that to move forward?
mm. Great question, Keisha. Most importantly, how do you feel about my Dallas Cowboys?
That's my team. That is my team.
Listen, that's what she want to know what this man think about him though. Shanita, she got somebody for Marcus. We making some love connections here on Conversations with Nicole tonight. And Ozzy, he said men need to be mindful of their words and not be quick to throw anything out there that they cannot live up to and to take time to observe. Women
Right.
do too. Women do too. Look, for that matter. All right, Ozzy. My first question would be: how well do you love and know yourself? That sets the tone. Mm,
Yes, it does.
that's good. Yeah, that's a great question. All right, Lord Marcus said, "Hook me up," and Ozzy is laughing. Dallas, Lord. So I think Ozzy is a huge what do you call it? Philadelphia Eagle fan, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. All right. So, wow, I'm still like looking over my notes. These gems again. Date someone in all 4 seasons, having a relationship mission statement, talk about the things that matter. Um, don't abandon yourself in the relationship, right?
Yes.
Um, yeah. So anything else that and I know we're not giving the whole book away, but anything else that you think would be useful for us in this moment.
I would say not being afraid of love, in a
Mm,
sense of afraid of getting your heart broke.
mm,
Especially if you're well over 35, 40, we're grown.
yeah.
At some point in life, you're going to have your heart broken in order to be able to move forward.
Mm,
That just happens. You don't want it to happen, but sometimes it happens. So don't miss out on love just because you're afraid to have your heart broken.
mhm. So wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Leasable. Says starting over is hard or scary.
Mhm. It
Mm,
can be.
yeah. But I think that's where the really knowing yourself
Mhm.
and loving yourself, like where that really kicks in, you know?
Right.
Because if you are really solid within yourself, then well, yes, you're gonna be vulnerable. Well, you should be vulnerable,
Should
right?
be. Yeah.
Um, but not to the point of detriment to yourself, right? But you still have a healthy self image, mindset about who you are and the value that you have, just period, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that person has to be a safe space for you. That's important too, because you're not going to feel comfortable being vulnerable or open up if that person is not a safe space. So
Mm-hmm.
you want someone that makes you feel seen, makes you feel worthy. That's safe. That's important too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Lisa, I'm in the healing season right now. I really thought I had done all the right steps this time in the divorce season right now. We'll definitely sending you
Send
a
your
lot
prayers,
of
Lisa.
love and peace and comfort as you go through that process. All right. Keisha, me and Ozzy wouldn't make it. You sure wouldn't, because you like Dallas and he likes the Eagles. Not happening. Marcus, I'm not fearful of getting hurt. I just needed time to myself after my divorce. Some women stepped to me, but I declined. Now I's ready. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. I hope you Mr. Writer, Mr. Author have written some stuff down like we talked about, right? Because we were told that writing is a manifestation process. And what was
Mhm.
it? Subjective.
Yep. Subconscious, subjective process as well. Yes. It's
Subcon-
like, say, it's an impact when
Mm,
you write things down.
yes. All right. So write it down, Marcus. Write it down. Okay. So don't be afraid of love.
Right.
Don't be afraid of love. You got to put yourself out there.
You have to. You got to put yourself out there. And for women, don't be afraid to be the one to approach either. That's
Wait a
another
minute.
tidbit. That
Say
is
it
another tidbit. Do
again.
not be afraid if you see something you like to approach.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid of that, because a lot of times men are scared to approach because they don't know if you're taken or if you're seeing someone, or they don't want to come across as a stalker, or they're harassing you. So they may look at you but not approach, but really like you because they don't want to send the wrong signal. So if you see that, and meet him halfway, approach. It's okay for you to speak to him and tell him that you're interested too.
Right. It's okay, ladies. Okay. All right. So yeah, ladies can approach and you know.
Now, I didn't say chase. It's a difference.
No, we
It's
didn't
a
say
difference. You're going to approach to let him know that he's on the right track and that you're interested. After that, you just sit back and allow.
so. Let me ask you this, Dr. April, because this is something that I have had conversations with my girlfriends, especially my girlfriends who engage in conversation with men. Um, and to me, play too hard to get.
Mm,
Okay. Now, and I think this one girlfriend in particular that I have in mind, she, you know, talks about like a balance between being approachable but not being too available.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is like not answering the phone every time he calls, or um not giving, I guess a whole lot of access. And so to me it sounds kind of like
A game.
yes.
That's
Yes.
what it is. And men peep that. They pick up on the games. And
Mhm,
so, it's not cool to play those types of games. Because
mhm,
if you're trying to find someone that's for you, that's aligned, they're gonna meet you every time. They
mhm,
call, you call. They're right there with you. So it's reciprocity. It's
mm,
it's equal give and take. You don't have to play the games.
mm. Okay, gotcha. Oh my gosh. We got a little humor here. So Keisha said, last time I took that advice and approached the guy, number one, with what was he was shocked, said he was with someone, and two, he ended up being my cousin. See, that's the
Ooh.
problem with y'all in these small cities. Anyway, Ozzy said that sounds like James Nicole. Yeah, it sounds like that to me too, but hey.
Mhm.
All right. It is only sweeter when it is mutual. Absolutely. All right. My cousin Tanya is on here. She said multiple heartbreaks will have you wanting to throw in the towel and solo Netflix and chilling with a pint of my choice. Yes.
Can't
Listen.
give up though. Don't give up. I understand. It's when you get to that point that you're about to give up, it's when the door opens and someone comes in.
We got to write the blueprint, right? That's the answer. That's part of it, because that's gonna be new for me. Like writing this out, in terms of what it is that I want, and then talk to us about, like, I guess the reviewing of that, because it's not just
It cut
enough
out
to
for me.
just. Oh, okay. So I was saying, talk to us a little bit about the reviewing of what we write down, because it's not just write it down and leave it, right?
No, absolutely not. No, so it's writing it down, but getting into the feeling of actually having it.
Mm,
So visualizing it. So
mm,
let's say you wrote down that, I want this tall, handsome man to love me, to adore me, to, be stable emotionally, mentally, financially, all these different things. And
mhm,
then you start to visualize what that looks like, that
mm,
person. You don't really know the face, but
mhm,
you can visualize an actual person with you, treating you the way that you would like to be treated. You're going on trips together, you're going on dinners and dates together, you are holding hands, you're just in love and enjoying each other's company and having the important conversations, and you're both understanding of each other, and there is reciprocity and equal give and take. And you're just, as I'm talking about it, I'm quite sure some of you are imagining this as I'm saying these things.
mhm,
That's what you need to do
mm.
every chance you get. If that's what you really want, that's how you call it in.
Okay. There you have it. All right. Keisha said, I love y'all and appreciate this conversation. Thank you, Keisha. Ozzy, he said, I believe in writing things down. So, Nicole, you haven't been doing your gratitude journal, eh? Yeah. Yeah. Ozzy, don't call me out.
Yeah, girl.
I do
Thank
a
you for
little bit, Ozzy. Not every day, but every now and again. Yes, I do. But journaling is very important. I'm recognizing that more and more. And so the affirmation piece is
Mhm.
important as well. So it's not just visualizing. I mean, it's writing it down, it's visualizing, but it's speaking it, right? As well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is speaking it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. All right, good vibes for the soul. Yes, Ozzy, Keisha. I imagine all of this, and then I wake up in Tallahassee. Hey, listen, you're not visualizing hard enough, Keisha. you
Right.
didn't
Gotta
write it.
write it down.
You didn't write it down, Keisha. You didn't write it down. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I think we have covered most of what we wanted to cover tonight.
Mhm.
So I want to give you an opportunity, Dr. April, to give us some closing remarks and tell the people how they can connect with you and how they can get a copy of the relationship blueprint.
Yes. So I appreciate y'all being here. This has been great. So you can connect with me on IG at dr.aprilgivens. You can also go to draprilg.com. So draprilg.com. And there is a link there to where you can purchase this book, The Relationship Blueprint.
Okay.
So check it out. I also have some other things that's on my website as well that you may be interested in, but that's how you get in contact with me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I think we got the viewers all set for Valentine's Day, Love Day coming up. So get your blueprint, start working on it, get in touch with who you are and what your values and alignment looks like for you.
Mhm.
Um, write out what it is you want, what you desire in a mate, and then that relationship mission statement we talked about,
Yes.
right? That relationship
Yes.
mission statement. Don't be afraid of love. Women, you can approach a man as well.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to talk about the things that matter. All right. Don't be afraid to
Absolutely.
talk about the things that matter. All right, Tanya, write it down and place the paper in my Bible.
That works too.
Ma'am, you need to read it. I'm gonna need you to read it, okay? Out loud. You say it out loud,
Place
okay?
it in the Bible in between some prayers. There you go.
Yes,
Do that too.
do that. I need you to read it and then put it back in the Bible and then think about it, meditate on it, feel it.
Mhm.
Yes, all of that. All right. Thank you, Dr. April. This was really great. Really,
You are
really,
welcome.
yes, 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 yes. So y'all connect with her. Get your book. Get the blueprint.
Mhm.
Get the blueprint. Get the blueprint.
That's it.
Yes, Ozzy, this was a great conversation on relationships. Thank you. You're welcome.
You are
Um,
welcome.
My other podcast, cousin Anthony. Good evening, family. His podcast is about that wallet. Thank you for joining us. All right, Ozzy said you must become love to get love. Keyword
Mhm.
become. All
That's
right,
it.
love it, love it, love it. I hope you all benefited from this conversation. If you did, let us know in the comments. Give us a heart, a thumbs up, something. Let us know. Sophia said, excellent. Thank you, Sophia. All right, very good. So I gotta get this blueprint because I need some help.
It's good. And that's just not me saying it, from everybody who has read it so far, saying that, they really enjoyed it and they got some really good information from it, and it's helping them. So y'all check it out. I just want y'all to be happy and find some love.
Yes. Yes, yes, wonderful. All right. So, Anthony just gave a thumbs up. Wonderful. Appreciate that. And for those of you who are new to the platform, please subscribe to Conversations with Nicole. We're here Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, focus on primarily mental health and wellness. But sometimes we have some other conversations as well. So subscribing and supporting, and we need all the support we can get. So, Dr. April, you have anything coming up that you want the people to be aware of?
Not at this time, but for updates, just check out my IG. I'm going to have some information there. And so stay tuned.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Ozzy is writing here. Marcus, stir up to me, baby. Yeah, walk on. Oh, what are you talking about, Marcus? All right. Wonderful. Leasable. Great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a
Oh, he
song.
said, step up to me.
Okay, all right. Yeah, y'all's got a love connection going on over here tonight. So I can't have any parts of that. I gave a thumbs up when I walked in the door. We appreciate you so much. All right, listen, you all be safe out there. Again, don't be afraid of love. Get your relationship blueprint, and we'll see y'all next time. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.